Yeah. What's up? What's up? We back. We back in the building. This is Saucy and Hush on the couch. I can't emphasize the enough. We're above normal. We're above average. How's it going? I'm sitting amongst the beautiful Saucy Amore. She had to have the glitter effects on her joint. You see what I'm saying? I'm simple and plain, but she's electrifying, so she had to add features to the already featured sweater.
Nothing like some glitter and glam. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 16 of Saucy and Hush on the couch. Just a brief announcement for all our viewers, our subscribers, and thank you so much for tuning in every week. But I also want to let you guys know that we will be now coming in every other week. So we will no longer be weekly. So, last week you probably didn't see us for episode 16. Episode 16 will be this week. And the following week after that will be episode 17. So we are now going to be every other week. So that's also...
Damn, why you did them like that?
We busy, that's why. Also, you can email us at saucyandhush@gmail.com. You can also DM us. Mine is Saucy Amore on IG. And Hush is how you stop him on IG as well. So what you got for us, baby?
I'm fixing the sweater so
like
you can
me.
see.
Oh yes, and we have our new apparel.
Sizzling. That's why you hear sizzling. I'm niggerish, so this bow is gonna look real to the side. To the left, to the left. Yeah. So, I want to take a second to have this moment where it's like silence because of the tragedy in the concert in Houston. Actually, a festival. What's the difference between a concert and a festival? That's a good question. I don't feel like Googling right now. But either way, they are both, I guess, performances with selections of music by said artists. So, by the way, on the news, felt like telling us that Travis Scott and, is it Chloe? He's with Chloe, right?
Huh?
He's with Chloe or Kylie?
Kylie.
Whatever, they all the fucking same. All the bitches is the same. Anyway, one a dozen. Anyway, Kylie and Travis Scott has a combined 400 million followers. It's hard to tell what type of audience they attract with those type of numbers. I'm guessing all ages. So this concert probably featured all ages, but tragically, the last report was 8 dead. I think the youngest one is like under 12, or maybe 12. There's a few more injured, and I'm hearing the police even try to communicate with Travis prior to warn it because he has other concerts where the fans have stormed the stage, harmed the security, whether, intentionally or not. So this is a pattern. And not to bash another brother, but if you want your coins and you want to keep things how you have it, you have to pay attention to these incidents. So I'm pretty sure they feel bad about what happened, but it's not about feeling bad. What are you gonna do now moving forward when you have these events? Because I'm hearing you're antagonizing that you want fans to rush the stage, like your performances get so lit. And I get that. As an artist, you be in the moment and you hype and the people are loving the song. But you gotta follow protocol, especially with COVID now. I'm hearing other criticism that if you see footage, nobody had masks on. I doubt everybody was vaccinated.
I'm seeing a lot of people not wearing masks. I mean, it's just everywhere. It's crazy, but yeah. So I guess because it was outside. So with it being outside, you really didn't have to wear your mask. But even if that party was inside, I doubt that people will have their masks on.
So we're just gonna pray. I guess I'm talking for both me and Saucy on the event itself was tragic, and just artists who perform regularly, who go on tour, who have these events. I hope you see this and know that you should double down on safety at your events. These people pay a pretty dollar to come see you perform. Not saying you don't care and you're reckless off top, but it's important their safety. These people want to come, see a good show, and make it back home. I mean, it's as simple as that. So other artists that are big enough to have these type of events, just use this as fuel to be extra safe, extra courteous on how your fans arrive and get back home safely from your event. That's it, that's all. Go into your bag. You found out something. And it's so crazy because I was already against it, the whole Biggie. God.
So, breaking news. Stevie J filed for divorce. Faith Evans. What I read up was, I don't know if it was like last year or a couple of months. I don't know if she had got arrested or had something. He had to file something against her for like domestic violence or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I don't want to say it was a shocker for me. I was hoping that it would last, but with a lot of these celebrity relationships and marriages, what I've seen, prime example, Erica Mena and Safari, they were just getting a divorce, and now Erica's birthday was like I think yesterday or day before yesterday, and they're all lovey-dovey, clap clap, she twerking on his head and whatnot. But just a couple months, she was destroying your property, and you was filing for divorce, and she was bashing you about you not being at the hospital when her son was born, and it's just like.
I think people are afraid, even when they're not celebrities. So now when you're a celebrity and you fuck with somebody and y'all go through drama and you jump out the window saying it's over or it's not over, to wonder, who next would you deal with? They rather deal with the bullshit that they know than to go start anew and, because then it'll look like it's them. When you're famous and you get into a relationship that don't work, that's fine. But then you get into another relationship that don't work, they start to go, okay. Then the next relationship don't work, bitch, it's you.
Yes, and of course they want to emphasize that this will be Faith Evans' second divorce. Of course they made sure they said that. Like, what that got to do with the price of tea in China? Like, at the end of the day, I don't want to see anybody, have to go through divorce. But if there really is some issues that has happened in the marriage, it came to a point where divorce is needed. Pray for, peace and understanding, and, wish nothing but the best for both of them. And if it happens to reconcile and they don't go through the divorce, hey, maybe they can go to counseling and work that out. But like I said, I was rooting for them, regardless of, you did not agree, because I know we did talk about their relationship in the beginning of our podcast, and you was really against it.
The earlier episode.
Yes. And it was just, when I seen it, I was like, damn. But, everybody goes through everything, that's why I never envy anybody's relationship. Because even though it might look happy, or they might, oh my God, I love their relationship, blah, blah, blah. You never know what's going on. And then, a year or 2, 3 years down the line, you hear like, God dang, it slapped you in the face because you thought they were doing good. So, I just, pray for the best for both of them. So that was breaking news for me. Yeah, that's all I had. You also mentioned Travis Scott. So yeah, those were the two events that happened in the past week or two.
Right. Yeah, it's been quiet otherwise, or things probably transpired that we just didn't get a wind of yet. I think COVID and all of that kind of grabs a lot of the attention, so you don't really get to see everything unless you're really researching what's going on. One quick thing that's funny to me, I don't want to make it a race thing. When I Google current events, urban, it gets a little tricky. It's like Google don't know what I'm talking about. Because if I put urban current events and it talks about Trump, Trump's not urban, not to me. I don't know if you know, they're just saying current events, nigga, this is what we're showing you. Because, when I type urban or ethnic, I want to see stuff that's happening in the communities. And if there's nothing going on, then it should be zero results in the search. I shouldn't see Trump. I shouldn't see CNN. No disrespect to the CNN network. That's not black. It's not urban. So, I want to shout out that this has been going on. This is late news, but it's never too late to mention. Let's give Dave Chappelle his flowers because they tried to cancel him and they can't cancel the God. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always been that way. So I'm not understanding why you would try to cancel him. That's one dude that he has not changed. The type of time he's been on. So I just wanted to shout him out real quick. I think there's a flick with him and Hove. I think Hove gave him his flowers as well because, it takes a lot. And it's inspiring because there's a lot of people in position and power to do certain shit and they're afraid because they don't want their water to get cut off. You know what I'm saying? Got that from BMF. You can't stack the rain. Anybody watching that shit is funny as hell. But yeah, just shout out to him real quick to give him his flowers. I love Chappelle.
Oh, talking about BMF, I know 50 was upset because he was saying that the current episode stars pulled it. He said it aired it for like 3 hours and they pulled it. According to 50, they wanted to kind of like hold off on BMF because Ghost is coming back out November 21st. And
what is Ghost? I know Dexter's back.
I don't know. That's what I was reading. Ghost was coming out November 21st. I don't know. But he said he had agreed to that, but they aired it, the BMF episode, and they pulled it from Stars. So I don't know if that's, I haven't looked. Like I said, we busy. So we catch episodes when on the weekends when we're able to be together. So I don't know if it's still there or not, but he really was up in an uproar about it. So yeah, when you mentioned.
And I think that was the episode where we were going to see Eminem. I think finally Eminem makes the appearance.
You really want to see
No, I read it. It wasn't
okay. Because he's been really...
He's playing the role White Boy Rich. They said that, or I hope it's Rick. It's White Boy Rick, who I heard was an informant from 15 years old. Like he was so in the drug game or whatever they had going on that he was cooperating from that young. Mm-hmm. So I even read that the real White Boy Rick was honored that M was portraying him, and he said that they asked like, did they have to have a sit down? Did White Boy Rick had to school M on anything? And he said M is so great that he figured he got the role. There was no need for interaction to tell him how to play the role. So he's honored to have M, and it's big for me too. You know how I feel about M. So anybody that has a life that M's gonna portray you, that's big. So I just wanted to shout that out real quick. So we'll see what happens with what you said. Is it canceled or is it pulled or not? Will we still be able to see it somehow? Wu-Tang has came to the season finale abruptly. I didn't even fucking know that was it. Like, y'all gonna leave me like that? But it's all good. Wu-Tang series is dope, and like I said, it just ended. So I guess we have to wait to hear when that continues. We could go into it.
Oh, I know you also mentioned about the whole, I don't know if you still want to talk about it, Joe, what he said.
Oh, I can't really hear you. You're being mad low, my G. Drink some water so you can get louder. Anyway, the black, I don't know. there's a lot to say, to unpack. Joe, I like him. I liked him as an artist. I liked when he stepped into the podcast game, and even all the sour shit that happened between him and his original partners that everybody talked about. This has been talked about till it can't be talked no more. They went on to do their thing. So I don't know, like the new face of the podcast for both parties is kind of both missing something. Like, I can watch it, but they're both missing something. So I don't know if Joe needs to start doing sporadic commenting or behaviors to kind of draw attention back to him. Because the bisexual thing, I mean, I know you heard that he announces that he's bisexual. What am I supposed to make of that? Like, I don't even know how to respond to that. I did see Tahiri say that she doesn't think that that's the case. She threw a shot about him being, kind of touchy-feely with his hands and not in a positive way. Not in a flirty way, in a violent type of way. So even when M threw that shot at him in the song, it seems like people are saying that he is abusive or he has been. So I don't know. I really don't know. In today's day and age, it can't be judged. So even if he is, maybe he said that to get a community behind him. But I'll say this, I'm not against anything. The world is a free country. But the LGBT community, y'all should feel away if he's capping. Y'all so stand together and rights and righteousness and want to be treated fairly. Y'all should feel away if he's just saying that shit. But if he is, y'all free to do y'all. That's really all I got on that. I mean, how do you feel?
I don't take Joe serious when it comes down to stuff like that. But he's a jokester. So, I mean, like you said, if he's very serious about it and he's just, maybe that's his aggression, that's why he's so angry. He's been in the closet for so long. Or maybe he could be, like you said, Kevin. And I hope that he's not, because that's nothing to be playing about. I'm just saying that just to say it. But
yeah, because back in the day, that would be, you probably would get canceled for doing that. Mm-hmm. Now you're applauded by it. No judgment, but that's it. That's the difference in the times of when he came out. Even when his first song dropped. If he would have said that then, versus saying that now, let's leave that be.
Yeah, so on to the topic of discussion. Let's get it.
She's already showing some control here. Saucy is just like, I run this bitch.
And do. What you call me, babe?
May I speak, ma'am? May I speak now?
Yes.
Fellas, I want to advise you smartly to take genuine love, a genuine relationship, for exactly what it is. I'm going to have to switch mics, but it's going to get loud. Take it for what it is. If you're in love, if you're ready for this person, pride and ego should go out the door. Whether it's a one-on-one setting, whether you're out in public or amongst peers, she got you. You got her. Equal doesn't sound bad. That's what y'all are. No matter who has to take the lead sometimes, no matter who plays the back, y'all are equal. I'm treading lightly and pacing myself dealing with you guys because I know how it can be. So, the rule of thumb is men is the king, head of household, vocally, strongly the lead. When you look into a home that has a relationship, that has kids, they're looking for the man of the house. That has always been tradition for the longest. Today, not to be funny, life has evolved. Women can vote. Women can work in the same work field as us. Women can be president. Women can be a political figure. WNBA. And who knows what's to come in the future. They're getting their rights. You see it. So, how uncomfortable, peculiar should you let a situation that a woman is the lead, she makes more money, she's making great decisions for the livelihood of her family. What's wrong with that? Especially with everything I just said. So I say that to say, fellas, don't beat yourself up if your lady is making the mozzarella right now. Let her rock. I know vice versa, there's controversy. I'm gonna let Saucy jump in because it's expected for men to make the bulk of the dough. So when they do, it's comfortable as hell. Most women are gonna sit back and go, that's how the fuck it's supposed to be. But I pretty much think I can bet that there's some women that may have an issue, especially the ones who are independent and they didn't jump in a relationship right away and they've been successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, X, Y, and Z, and they've been making their own money. They got their own property. So now to go in a relationship where a man makes more money, that might make them feel claustrophobic. So, Saucy, jump in here and tell them how to handle this type of thing. Am I right? And where do you sit in the sense of independency and feeling that you could hold it down by yourself if you had to, and to come into a relationship where the guy's the lead, or if you had the lead? Do the compare and contrast.
Well, I dealt with both. Where I didn't have to worry about it, and then having to handle it all. I think, like you said, growing up, especially with my mom, and she was a single parent, and she did 2 or 3 jobs, and just to take care of me. I told myself I don't want that for myself, because I seen, I was never with my mom. I was always with, aunts, sisters, cousins, because she worked, went to school, 2, 3 night job, day job, and went to school. And I'm like, damn, just to pay bills. So, when my first marriage, when I met my first husband, I didn't have to worry about that. But the hustler in me wanted my own money. So now when, I got out of that marriage and now it's just me, I'm the hustler, I'm doing this and doing that, and then you get into a new relationship, it's like, it's different. It's different. To me, it doesn't bother me because, like you said, if the woman is making the most and is holding down the household the most, and your partner is at the moment, not making the most, but it's still holding shit down. You guys are a team. What's his is yours, and what's yours is his. If you guys are one, because when you're in a relationship, it's just me, you, and him. It's both of y'all. you are a team. It's us. So, but I know some men find a very dependent woman an issue, especially, and I ain't talking about the women who are taking care of these men who don't want to do shit, be home all fucking day on PlayStations, and don't want to do shit, don't want to go nowhere. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your man, your fiance, your husband is out there grinding as well as you, but you happen to be making more money. Now, that shouldn't affect the man who knows the situation at hand. But if it bothers him, that's something you guys have to talk about. It's something deeper that he has. It's a pride thing because, like I said, I know a situation where it's like that and it doesn't bother me because I know the situation, he knows the situation, they know the situation, so it's like it shouldn't be an issue. But for the ones that it is an issue, you guys have to talk to one another because again, then there's the women who don't want to be, they want to be spoiled. They want to go out knowing their man has everything. They have to worry about it. And I consider that selfishness. If you know that you have money and you guys go out and you expect your man to pay for every damn thing. I know this also was a subject. You know, you go out, your man pays for the food. I feel like the wife or the girlfriend needs to tip. Some feel like they don't need to do none of that shit. They feel like the man, he needs to handle all of that. And to me, I feel like that's not fair. Because again, you guys are a team. So, that's my point on it. It really doesn't bother me because, like I said, I had the best of both worlds. I had to be spoiled and also be the breadwinner. So, I mean, I love it. I love both of it. And I know, like I said, to be able to hold shit down for the moment, it feels good. To me, it feels good. I mean, because I know when that time comes when I don't have to do it, I'm going to love it even more. So that's what I see about it. But like I said, there are men who just can't deal with a dependable woman. And some women just be by themselves because, and I know, like I said, I have family members who, making buku money but can't find a man because they're making 6 figures and their man is making 4. So, yeah.
With our platform and our capabilities, what are we doing with it? How do we want to school the younger ones coming up? We don't know how young our audience is, like who's the youngest watching. Do we want them to just fill things out for themselves, or do we want to kind of throw some info at them how to be off jump? Because a lot of things have to do with age as well. Because when they're younger, I'm sure they want it all. But are we going to teach them that no matter what, once you start dating, period, you should have the mentality like, whoever got it, but know the difference between someone who's taking advantage. But they shouldn't limit themselves. See, people get shit misconstrued. There's a difference between being picky and being impossible. So I think if we could try to grab them from when they're younger to tell them have an open mind. Yeah, you ain't gotta support no grown man off rip. But don't let that cloud your judging of him, getting to know him. You could get to know the richest person, you could get to know the brokest person, and then you can know where you place them based on your vibe. So it shouldn't come down to dollars anyway. You just know where to place them. A broke person with no ambition is just as bad as a rich person who wants to control and not give you no lane at all. So you didn't win.
Absolutely. Because, like I said, dealing with a man who has it all and it's in controlling you, it's not worth having all the money in the world. For the young folks, like I said, it's hard because social media. You see all these celebrities, these men throwing money at their girls, their wives, their fiancés, and blah blah blah. And especially for the younger generations that are probably coming up and struggling and wish they had that, and they first thing was like, my man need to take care of me. Listen, that's not how it's supposed to be. A man is not here to take care of you. Like I said, it's something about making your own money. Because like I said, I've been in that situation where a man did take care of me. And to constantly ask to get something or get money, I feel like I'm a child. And then it's like, okay, if you don't do this or do that, then you can't get this. People will use their money to control you. It might start off like that's not how it is at first. But it can turn out to be a control thing. So people, and even young people, even still old people in our age group still feel like a man should take care of them. I don't want that.
Who you calling old?
Because to the younger people, we're considered old. I'm talking about the kids.
Man, I'm 26. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know I'm not old, but when you're talking to 20-year-olds and you're 41 and I'm about to be 37.
I'm 26. How you feel about is this a race thing, a LGBT community thing? How do you feel like these different people address this? So like in other cultures and other races, do you think they think the same? I think probably in countries and islands, they expect the man to be the forefront for sure.
Most definitely. And that's why it's hard to break from that, because it's so like the head, the man is the head, the man is the head. But nowadays, it's not like that. I know successful women who are making more money than their man.
And you know what? Not to be funny, oh my God, I have to always be controversial and politically correct at the same time. The LGBT community. So that might be the best example for this, because if you're dealing with relationships of the same sex, who leads? And that's the open mind that they have. I'll give them credit on that, because if it's the same sex, there can't be no pride and ego there.
Well, I say this. I will say this. What I have noticed, there's always one, no matter if it's the same sex, that's the more feminine. I've witnessed and seen men, women, there's always the woman who's a little bit more masculine, and there's one of the men who are a little bit more feminine.
So you're saying that plays a role in the pride and ego thing about who's supposed to be leading, or the one who's acting feminine should be, because they're feminine, they can't lead?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, we can't really say just because they're the same sex don't mean that they're one of the sex is not more feminine and one more masculine.
No, but that's not what I was addressing. I was addressing who's the lead.
But what I'm saying is the possibility the one who's the more feminine. You know what I'm saying? Probably is not taking the lead, and the one who's more masculine in the woman is taking the lead. I've seen it. And then I'm not going to ask people like, okay, since you're a woman and another woman, since you look like the more masculine, are you the head of the household? I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to assume that's what it is, because she's playing the more masculine person and he is playing the more feminine. I'm just going off of this is my opinion.
It was just an example to say that they may be more able to adjust to that narrative. Because again, if it were talking about straight couples only,
Mm-hmm.
the narrative is the man's the lead. So now when you have other cultures involved or same sex, as I said, does that flow the same way? So we don't know. I guess it depends per relationship.
You can always have a conversation with someone who has the same sex and ask them.
And ask.
But I would think the person who's playing the masculine role is probably the person who's supposed to be the head of the household.
It kind of goes with the behavior, I guess. Okay. Again, so we do this to try to school and youth them. So whatever you're into, from the time you start dating, can't stress it enough. We're into people, real things, real vibes. Money is monetary, material. You need it to survive, it's very important. I said that on somewhere else. Ha! Tell it how it is, no filter. But you must have this open mind because people are lonely. People are not in a situation playing both sides of the fence. Meaning, you can be for you want to, and I'm talking to ladies right now. You could want the guy to take care of everything. That could be the reason you're single right now. Or that could be the reason relationships aren't working out. I'm still talking to the women. You can be independent and it's still by yourself.
Don't mean to cut you off. I just want to for the women who feel a man has to take care of you and you get into a relationship and that man is the breadwinner and he's doing what he has to do. Let me tell you something, especially if he's working for somebody, that job is not guaranteed. If he were to lose his job and now you're the only one making money, would you leave him? Because now he cannot take care of you like he wants you to take care of you. Getting into a relationship, that's how I said I'm starting a relationship. I want to be able to take care of me, and God forbid, if I need to take care of my man. That is the smartest thing I can tell you guys, because don't look as if, not saying I don't want to be catered to, because I do get catered to, but God forbid that man loses his job. Are you going to be able to handle that household? Or would you leave him because now he can no longer cater to you?
Vice versa. Yo, guys, if you with somebody and she's holding it down, she's the breadwinner, and she, God forbid, loses her way, how you feel? It's kind of pressure on us though, because if the lady was the lead and she lost her job, we can't leave because we were supposed to be the lead anyway. Yo, you see how life is crazy? Some people may say F that, they're not going off a tradition, but we can't leave. I mean, we could, but it's like.
And this is why I love nothing, not knocking the people who got the money and she's successful and he's successful and they just doing big things. This is why I love the rags to riches story, because I rather struggle with somebody who we're struggling together and we make it than to be with somebody who already has something. Because now you're sitting here wondering, do they love me for my money or do they love me for me? Again, do they love me for my money or do they love me for me? So give me that struggle, because struggles don't last always. So yeah, rags to riches.
But that was the message I was given, like to analyze and vibe with people, no matter their financial status, because you can meet some very intelligent people, very ambitious people who may only have $1 in their account. You know, a lot of people with money are very dry, bland, no substance. You know, it could be, you know, they was born into money. You know, characteristics and personality can be bought or taught. So they're that way. So, you know, I mean, and it's a corrupt world because some people could bypass these things. So we're not going to reach everybody, unfortunately, because people could bypass the official shit for the artificial shit. So if that's just their MO, God bless. We just hope you get far. But I always say every day you wake up, you get a chance to change that. So maybe, you know, God forbid, to waste time and go through enough scenarios where you go, oh, let me change up how I'm moving with this whole money shit because it's not getting you nowhere. And now you see, like, I see women who don't look happy, like vibe wise and demeanor, but like they dress to kill, pocketbooks and fits and hair done, but they don't look happy. So ask yourself, what's more valuable to you? Because happiness don't got a price. Yeah, you looking great for everybody, but now you can't even trust nobody because whoever got you laced like that, that didn't work. So now when the next people come along that can't lace you the same, you know, whatever fits you got right now, I'm not saying you're going to grow tremendously where you can't fit these fits. But suppose, you know, you had the latest Fendi from a guy you broke up with. And now the next guy that come along, he got to go to Rainbow. He can't, I mean, he don't got to go to Rainbow, but he can't go to Fendi. So, you know, when you outgrow or outstyle the fly fits, but you found a good dude, do you really feel a way that he can't keep up with the last styles you just had?
And that's where people priorities lie. A lot of people are for what people see, what they see them flashy, they see them with the purses, and they see them with that. That means they living a good life, but secretly in debt. So everybody's for what people see, portray. They rather people see the luxury than to see the actual happiness. That's why you see, like you said, the rich people, they look depressed, they look sick, and they always say, oh, you could tell that this person's in love because they got a glow on them, or they look healthy, their skin look clear. You know, I see it all the time. I see it all the time. Like, you got all the money in the world, but like you said, trust. Do you trust these people? Do you love these people? Do these people love you, or do they love your money? So, yeah.
Listen. Go for yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're sharp enough and you're lucky enough, you can find a genuine person who has money. I ain't knocking that. So if you do find your Mr. or Mrs. Right and they all for you and they got the bread, we're not saying that it's bad to have both. We're saying don't let what you chase cloud authenticity.
Money don't last always.
That song gonna rock a while. Y'all know the meme. If y'all out there left, y'all know the meme. And yo, shout out to Shaq and Biggie because that was a song in history. You know, they may not take Shaq serious as an artist, but that song go. You know, people don't know that song, and that's crazy because that's the two Biggie songs. And you know, people I'm not gonna jump too deep into this. Biggie gets his flowers, but like the little features for me, like that Shaq feature, people don't know. That Michael Jackson feature, people don't know. Those are stamped. So I just wanted to briefly say that. But listen, whatever you believe in, whatever you chasing, just make sure it's worth it. And I do it. I mean, you can see how fast the response is, but just know what you're doing and be built for what comes out of it. Because even if you think you got one up, nothing is free. Everything come with a price. So even if you could have rocked all summer long, damn, I'm lit. And then winter is colder than the weather. Damn, where this nigga go? Where she go? I've been there. You know, Saucy gave her input on it. I've been there where I've been looked at as the money giver. And everybody who know me, you could call me cheap all you want. If I spot the fuckery, I might have missed out on that. You know, guys, when you get 20s or when you first start having sex, I don't want to get too graphic, but all the pussy I could have had if I was the trick, if I did spend the money, oh well, I took that loss. Might be one or two, I was like, damn, wish I had a G on me right now. But it's sad that you gotta even break it down like that. There is definitely chicks, sorry to say, and if you, this is not private, you know, YouTube, we can be seen. There's no blocking people from YouTube. Maybe you can, I'm not sure, but I doubt it. So, yeah, I'm talking about you, because I'm the same person. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Lucky I don't want to say no names. But it's sad that it determined the bread, because ask anybody else that dealt with me, I mean, you're going to have the haters, the naysayers, but a genuine person, you know, you got to kick yourself for missing out on one of those because you thought that money was more important. And I ain't the best in the world. I'm not saying that, oh my God, if you never had opportunity with me, all life is lost. I'm just saying, don't let the bread, you might miss out on some good shit. You know, you might get some, I know I heard an echo somewhere, I don't know. Maybe there's a third mic. But, yeah, guys that can relate to that. And some guys can relate and say, fuck it, I paid.
Paid for this pussy.
I mean, when I was in my 20s, if I was rich, there's some chicks I encountered I would have paid for. But I just knew I wasn't rich. And I never tried to front. And now women, what you doing with that, let me tell you the lasting effect of that being very toxic. Niggas that don't really got it like that, gonna pretend they do. To keep up with you, to get a chance. And then it's gonna come up short. Now, how you gonna get mad if it comes up short? He trying to get with you. So he gonna portray all that shit just to get with you. And then try to finagle his way after that. You see how it's changing? The game is changing. But you know what? What I give women credit for, some, most, I don't know what percentage, we can't get y'all to do that. If y'all ain't got it, y'all like, nigga, you take this pussy for free, or I don't know what to tell you, nigga. I'm not lacing you. You ain't gonna have every Jordans under my watch. And tell the truth, guys, like, I take the pussy. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, it's just crazy how it's a difference. But no, listen, this is 2021. There is no set way with this shit. The man leads, cool. Everybody, you know, older folks, our elders will say that's how it's supposed to go. If the woman's leading, cool. How's your relationship though? Y'all happy? Y'all good? Then fuck all that what it's supposed to be shit. Because everything that works out ain't written down somewhere. People who've been together 50, 60, 70 years, their story is not just simplistic, not just the norm, not just written like, you know, Red Riding Hood.
And that's what you know, Hush and I, when we do encounter people who's been together 50 years and more, they tell you.
Wait, let me tell you. Let me shout out. I don't remember the lady's name. We ain't never know it.
It's about the nurse?
Never, no, in ShopRite. Remember what the lady said? Never go to bed
angry at one another. Yes. And as much, and I'm bad at that. Like, if I ain't pissed, I am pissed. But he ain't having that shit. He's like, nope, not happening. I don't care if you just peck me on my forehead. You're not going to bed. You're not going downstairs. You're not going over. You're gonna sleep in this bed, and we're gonna be back to back. But I'm gonna kiss you and say I love you towards the end of the night. And I get it. And it took me a while because, like I said, you've been in a prior relationship when, it was just toxic. And when you're upset at one another, I don't give a fuck. I'm not talking to you. You go in that room, I go in that room, and that's how it's gonna be. Especially when you're upset and you don't want to say anything because that's how I am. I'm upset. I don't speak because I know when I'm upset, I might say things, and I tell people, watch what you say to me because I remember everything. So when I'm upset, I'd rather him not speak to me, and I'd rather not speak because I don't want you to say something out of anger and then I'm harboring that. But hush is hush, and he wants to talk everything out. So I said, I don't want to speak, but I'll say goodnight and I'll say I love you, and we just bang it out in the morning or the next day. But yeah, I definitely, agree with her. Don't go to bed angry, and always talk about the situation at hand, not that moment, but make sure you talk about it. But yeah, we love to talk to older people who've been, married and in relationships for years because, those are the ones been through some shit and fought through it. So, that's why we're here trying to reach out to people because, we're older, but, we've both been through things and, we're learning together and we just want to help other people, I have people come to us, oh, we love y'all, you guys are so cute together, I love y'all relationship, blah, blah, blah. But, this is our relationship, this is what works for us. I don't want nobody to envy what we have because Hush is for me and I'm for Hush. So, I don't want nobody to envy our relationship because you don't know what we have to go through and why we act the way we act. So, that's how I just want to end the whole thing.
I think our camera people on strike. Once we went every other week, we lost personnel. It's just not clicking right now. But we gonna get it together though. And I think I'm the cameraman today.
I just heard footsteps.
And see, underpaid and underprivileged. Jesus. And both of us got through our drink.
Sure did. This glass was dirty.
Guess I'll be editing.